Doesn't that look creamy and cheesy and delicious? So now we'll give it a try. Everyone, today we're doing potatoes au gratin, and these are absolutely delicious. I took a bite before I came on here, and they're creamy, cheesy, and absolutely awesome. They're perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, I've made other recipes in the past, but this is the best one. Really good. I used these potatoes, small white potatoes, to make these, but you could use any potato you want. I like this recipe because it's got a creamier texture to it. Instead of just putting grated cheese in, you make a sauce on the stove. It's awesome. I hope you give this a try, and please let me know how you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, what I always do is use a mandolin to cut my potatoes. It can be very dangerous, so you have to be very careful because these are super sharp. But what you do is you take your potato and you just do this, and it takes these off so easily. But like I said, you have to be very, very careful because they're super sharp. So the items I'm going to have 2 pounds of potatoes, and I'm going to have 3 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, and a half a cup of a chopped yellow onion, 2 cloves of minced garlic, but I'm going to use a full teaspoon of minced garlic. And then a cup of milk, a half a cup of heavy cream, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, and I'll add that to taste. And then I'm going to use a 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese that I'm going to grate. And I'm also going to use a 1/3 cup of parmesan cheese. And I'm also going to put some fresh thyme in this because I have some. So I'm going to first start layering my greased casserole dish with some potatoes, and then I'm just going to layer everything. But first I'm going to saute a half an onion in some butter and make my bechamel sauce on the stove. Before I do anything, I'm going to salt and pepper my potatoes. Okay, I have my cheese grated, my onion chopped, and I will meet you at the stove. Okay. The first thing you want to do is add your butter, and you have to have it on low so it doesn't burn, and this is 3 tablespoons of butter. Then you want to add your half of chopped onion, and now you can turn it up a little. And we're going to saute these onions about 5 minutes on low. I turned it up a little more until they're translucent. Okay, these onions have been sauteing for about 3.5 minutes. So now I'm going to add my minced garlic. I have a heaping teaspoon, and you can add a couple of cloves, however you want. And I'm just going to stir this around for probably 1 minute so it doesn't burn and it's on low. And after that, we're going to add our our flour. We're going to stir that for a good 1.5 minutes and then add our cream and milk. Okay, now you can add your flour. And I'm going to do that gradually. And you want to stir it so that you can get it all incorporated. Plus, you do not want to have any flour taste. So you're going to keep stirring it about probably 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. And then we'll add our cream and milk. You can see how the flour is browned a little. Now you know it's time to add the cream and milk. It's cooked. Now you want to turn it up a little so it's like a medium. Okay, now, and I turned it now, you can see it's kind of thickening. It's kind of a medium low right now. So now I'm going to add a little bit of salt, not a lot, and pepper. And now I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese. So this is a bechamel sauce, and we're adding cheese. It's going to be a cream sauce, a cheese sauce. And once this gets combined and it's all blended together, we're going to layer our potatoes and and the cheese in between layers. And make sure your oven is preheated to 350 Fahrenheit degrees. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to take this butter wrapper and just kind of do this to kind of grease the pan. It doesn't need to be greased a lot. I added a little more cream because it's very, very thick, and I wanted to kind of make it a little thinner. But you want everything combined. And now what you're going to do is you're going to layer your casserole dish with your potatoes. So we're going to probably have a couple of layers here. You're just going to put all your potatoes in, or about half of them, not all of them. But you're going to put all of them in little by little. And this is 2 pounds. You could do more or less depending on how much you want. And you can adjust the cream sauce to have less or more. So now I'm going to pour some of this in. It has onions, remember, too. There's onions in here. So we don't have to add onions because they're in this cream sauce. And we did saute them, so that will give them a lot more flavor. So we're just going to finish putting all of our potatoes in. And the rest of our cheese sauce. And the parmesan you can sprinkle on the top, and you can omit it if you don't want any parmesan, but we will grate the parmesan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grate some parmesan, and then I'm going to sprinkle some of this fresh thyme on the top, and I do have a thyme plant. So it's awesome. Just doing a few. And now I'm going to put it in the oven. I'm going to put a lid on it after I add the Parmesan cheese a little bit, and then I'm going to put it in for 1 hour. The last step is I'm going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on. And this will bake an hour, and then it will come out, and we'll take the top off of it and bake it for another 20 minutes. And at that point, I'm going to add a little more Parmesan cheese when I bake it with the lid off. So we'll see you in about 1 hour. There it goes on the middle rack. We'll see you in 1 hour. I just took this out of the oven. You can see it's nice and bubbly. So all I'm going to do now is add the Parmesan cheese and put it back in the oven for 20 more minutes. So what I want to do is sprinkle some more Parmesan, and we're taking the lid off. That's the purpose of taking this out, so that we can bake it. It's going to kind of brown it more. And now I'm going to put it back in for 15 or 20 minutes at the same temperature, 350. Okay, it's out of the oven, and you can see it's golden on the top. So we have to let this set for a while because it needs to just set. So we'll see in about maybe 20 minutes to taste it. Okay, we're having a ribeye that we're sharing because this is really big. That's what we're having with our gratin potatoes and some fresh steamed green beans. You can see it's set now, and it's not bubbling anymore, so now we can slice into it.